Hey, welcome back to my channel, Duct Tape Mechanic, and to another episode of my series, Free on Facebook, which is a series of videos in which I find things for free, mostly off of Facebook Marketplace, and I show you how to repair them, repurpose them, and reuse them in another manner. In this video, I'm going to show you how to fix an LG top-load washing machine that's taking too long to fill, or it's not filling with water at all. So if you find this video to be helpful, make sure you subscribe to my channel for more DIY and tinkering videos. Alright, so here's the washing machine in question. This video is going to be pretty much applicable to any sort of top-load LG washing machine made in the last 10 years or so. If you're curious, that is the model number for this particular machine. Basically, the previous owner said that it was throwing an IE error code. So that pretty much happens when the machine's been trying to fill with water for more than 8 minutes. So if you have a machine that's taking too long to fill, or it's throwing the IE code, or it's not filling at all, this video will be for you. I'm going to give you the top 3 reasons why this may be happening. So I've been trying to do some LG videos in the past, but I haven't really been able to get my hands on these machines. I don't know whether that's due to just not being that popular in this area, or that they're more reliable than the other machines. I really don't know. But as coincidence would have, as soon as I picked up this one, I found another LG machine within 12 hours. So prepare yourself for some LG washing machine repair videos in the near future. Alright, let's get to it. Alright, so the number one reason that your LG washing machine is filling too slowly, or not at all, is due to a clog in the inlet valves of the machine. This is a really common issue with this machine because they have these particular filters that get clogged up. So I'm going to show you how to fix that. The first thing we're going to have to do is turn off the water and disconnect the water supply lines. I will do that, then I'll flip this machine around so you get a better angle of what I'm doing. Alright, so I've disconnected the water supply lines and I kind of flipped it around. Now what we can do is get our needle nose pliers and just pull those filters right out. So stick them in there and it should just, whoo! Yeah, that is why this particular washing machine was not filling with water. Or it was filling, but it was filling really slowly. It's a really common issue because these are really, they do a really good job of filtering out the water, but at the same time, they do a clog up within a year or two, from what I've read. Let's see the hot as well. Okay, hot is actually not as bad as the cold water, and that's actually pretty much what we see. When I tested this out, I could see that on the rinse, the flow was really weak. So you can see it's actually pretty good. But anyways, so the way I'm going to clean this out is I'm just going to get like an old toothbrush or something and just flush out with some water. I'm sure they're available online as well. So if you don't want to do all that cleaning, you can just order some more. Then we'll show, whatever you do, do not just take these out and bypass them. What I mean by that is take these out, then go ahead and hook up your water lines. That is a recipe for disaster because these are actually doing their job. If the water was to go through, it would clog up the plunger of the valve and they could get stuck in the open position or the closed position, and you could have a nice little flood at your house. So do not just take these out and disregard them, because it'll work temporarily, but let's say 6 months from now, when a piece of this particle gets inside the plunger, it's going to be disaster. So that's what they kind of look like after they've been cleaned. I just kind of used my daughter's toothbrush here. Yes, I'm going to throw it out. But I did notice that when cleaning off the red one, or I should say the hot water side, there wasn't that much, the black residue as we saw on this one, but when I cleaned it out, there was a fair amount of white residue that was hard to see. So don't just ignore it if it looks clean. It could be like this white calcium stuff that could be on there. So yeah, and like I said, if you can't get these clean, I just saw that they're on Amazon for like $7. So maybe just it's worth it just to pop that in there. Looks like I was able to get these pretty good, I would say, compared to what they were before. But let's go ahead and slap these back in there. Before I do that, I'm also going to just take my brush right here and just go clean the inside right here as well. I'm not sure if that's necessary, but hey, when you're in here, it's better than coming back in here and having to do it again. So. All right, so the second reason is that there's an issue with the actual control valves. So to get access to those, to test them, you're gonna have to remove 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 screws to get this back panel off. I think there maybe have been 2 extra screws here, so if you had to remove 7, don't be too alarmed there. So let's go ahead and get those out. So after the screws have been removed, should be able to just be able to pull that off. All right. Now we have access to the control valves over here. So what we're going to do, just to make our lives a little bit easier, we're going to remove this casing for the control board. This metal piece, it's going to be in the way. All right, now we can actually test to see if our valves are electrically okay. And to do that is real simple. All we're gonna do is disconnect the valve that we're interested in testing, and then we're gonna measure the resistance with our meter. So we should get our multimeter right here, and to put it into resistance mode, I got it onto auto resistance. That way it'll find out what it is. And I don't know if you can see that, but then we're just gonna put our meter on the probes of the solenoid of the valve. So, and orientation does not matter for resistance measurements, so you don't have to worry about whether you're flipping the red and the black or anything like that. So it's just like that. And we're getting a resistance of 25 ohms. So that's actually what it's supposed to be. So if you're getting a resistance between 20 to 30 ohms on these valves, that means the valve itself, the windings I should say, are good. And you can move on and test all these valves that way. And they all should have the relative around the same distance. Now if you get this and it gives you an OL like this, that means the windings are no longer connected and needs to be replaced. Or if the resistance is like an order of magnitude greater, so if it's like, you know, in the kilo ohms or something like that, then you have an issue. So if it's anywhere between 20 to 30 ohms of resistance, the valves itself are good. So that pretty much just leaves us, once we've verified that the filters are good and the valves are electrically okay, that pretty much leaves us with that it's a control board issue. Now you can also test this as well. I'm going to show you that in the next step. Alright, so the last thing to do is make sure that the control board itself is okay. In order to do that, I'm going to go ahead and unplug this middle white connector right here. And after that, let's see if I can't just pull this off right here. There we go. All right. Then after that, I'm going to go ahead and plug in the machine. All right. And I'll start a cycle. So basically, we're measuring to see if it's getting the correct voltage, which on LGs, it's 12 volts DC. Pretty much on any sort of other washing machine, it's 120 volts AC. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna set my voltmeter right here to DC volts, and if we're gonna measure to see if it's getting anywhere between, I would say 10 to 12 volts, we're probably fine. That's enough to open up the solenoid. If it's getting no voltage, that's would be the main issue right here. If I could just clip it onto here. Is that? Oh, that's actually pretty good. All right, so I'll go and stick my probes in there, then start the cycle and see what we measure. Let's see. Start warm water so we get the mixing in there. You do have to wait a few minutes after you've started the cycle for it to go through the sensing, and then you can see that we're getting 10.2 volts on this white one right here. So that just verifies that our control board is good. So we kind of already knew that, but anyways, that's one way to verify it. So if you find this video to be helpful, make sure you subscribe to my channel and hit the thumbs up sign. So I've got the washing machine hooked up to my wash station right here. As you can see, the water is coming out nicely, as it should, and it's gonna start washing my clothes as well. So that was definitely the issue with this machine. It was just a simple little clog that led somebody to throw it out. But hopefully this was able to help you, and please stay tuned for the next one.